Is this any better, guys? Muhammad, can you guys hear me now? Is it better now? No noise? All right. Be fixed by now. Is it now fixed, guys? Can you guys hear me? All right. Okay. What can I say? Low budget production. Thank you, David. That tells you something, doesn't it? Guys, we need more subs. And I'm not talking about Subway sandwich. Okay, let me say hellos. David, hello, Aftar, Muhammad, Tambi, Christian Martin. Then we have Foil Grim, Timmy. Oh, everybody's was complaining about noise. I don't know what happened. This is the same mic that I always had. This. It's a good mic. My son gave it to me. He's got a few mics, and this was the one that he said, if you want. I said, yes. And it always did a good job. I don't know what happened today. Just for a second, I had my hot tea right beside it. I don't think that would have affected it. But anyhow, as long as we're okay now. And Turles says, hello again, my friend, and my ears are getting... What? That noise. Oh, yeah. Complaints of the noise was all over. Sandeep Sharma, still the noise. Tambi, the noise. Still there. Muhammad. Foil says, Mehran, do noise 7 hours. Yeah, that's right. I should have done noise for 7 hours. I bet you would have gotten lots of subs. All right. Now, we're all good now. Achilles says, hello, Mehran. Antoine, 51, male from Los Angeles. Glad to catch you live again. Thank you. Me too. Catch myself live. Hope you had a blessed week and a wonderful weekend. Well, I look forward to the weekend. It is the beginning of it. And thank you for the well wishes. I appreciate it. Kind words. Turles says, I think you need a new microphone, Mehran. Well, my microphone is new and it's not cheap stuff. But I don't know what went on. Yeah, well, I need a new mic. Not really, but I need lots of new things, such as new subs. That's right. So I suggest, I trust everything is good now. Again, no sound? Or am I just going over the, I hear you. I hear something. Speak, Mehran. Can you guys hear me now? Could someone tell me if you're hearing me now? Am I alive there? Muhammad says, Mehran, I miss you so much. Thank you, Muhammad, for the kind words and love from the Arabian Peninsula. Yeah, okay. We know where you live. And Jack says, hello, Mehran. I start basic training in Her Majesty's Armed Forces Army next month. Ah, exciting. Love your work as always. Male 23 from England. 23. Okay, great. Guys, don't forget the protocol. Christian says we're good. David says yes. Haha. And I'm narrating everything you guys say. So obviously our program is about echoing what you guys say today. That's what it is. All right. Now, Foil Grim Timmy, 35, male US, says, Mehran, I'm talking to a girl. That's a good start. He says, I'm talking to a girl at work, and she refuses to mention her boyfriend, even though there are some old pictures of her with someone online. She enjoys chatting with me and I with her. Bad? No, not bad. And don't expect girls to just right off the bat says, oh, by the way, I have a boyfriend. I mean, that nobody's going to say that. Would you? It kind of could mean like she's implying you're hitting on me or you expect something, and she doesn't want to imply that because she doesn't know, and at the same time she's not treating it as if you have intentions other than discussions, because maybe that's her intention. So it's kind of weird if someone just says hello and you say hello and says, oh, by the way, I have a boyfriend or I have a girlfriend. You know, it's just not the right place. If the guy or the girl makes some kind of overtures of some kind of a relationship or romantic overtures of some kind, then perhaps is the time. Then it's the time to say, okay, look, I'm in a relationship or something. But just the fact that she doesn't say it right off the bat, that doesn't mean that she has plans for you or interests, romantic interests. It just means she's conversing with you, and there's no reason to bring her boyfriend out to say, oh, I have a boyfriend. Oh, okay. But that could be insulting to you, and she's considerate of that, probably. So don't treat the fact that she's not saying anything about her boyfriend means that she likes you in a different way other than talking to. You know, girls talk to guys not necessarily because they're romantically interested. They may be, but they talk to guys and they enjoy that attention because it makes them feel good about themselves. It's a kind of a, you know, they get this affirmation that, oh, I still got it, you know, they pursue me, or I'm, you know, I'm being, you know, something like that. And not necessarily they will run with it in their mind, just the fact that in their mind they might be just socializing and not even thinking about anything that we just talked about. So you can't take any of these signals that she doesn't talk about her boyfriend means that she means something. You're more than just a colleague discussing things. So don't assume things and don't, you know, imagine things, imply things, or whatever. Yeah, that'll be safer for you. Muhammad says, Mehran, you look younger over time. I'm sure this is not only the diet and tea. Yeah, it could be suffering of lack of, you know, subscribers. Possibly, who knows? Who knows? It could be the chamomile tea. Thank you. Thank you for a vote of confidence and kind words. Muhammad says, Mehran, do not forget to do the self-introduction. Oh, yes. Thank you. My name is Mehran. My last name is Dadbeh. And what the hell am I doing here? We are actually here to share discussions about movement of mind. What is the role of our psyche in our lives? What is a thought, consciousness, a fear, desire, ego, pleasure? What is order? What is mechanical process? What is material process? What is it that makes us tick and act, feel, and react and behave the way we do in our daily life negotiations of our journey in this life? And in order to make that whole thing that I just said more palatable, we use the forum of breakups and relationships challenges to help us to know why we react or feel or think or affected the way we are after breakup, and how to move on. And of course, we have over 1,400 videos now on this channel that you can simply go on my search engine on my channel and put in what you're feeling, and such words in what you input in the search engine will pretty much give you a few videos. And through those videos you can find some answers and ponder. And of course we have updates every day, uploads every day, other than today actually, which I consider the live talk my upload. I was lazy to do some trimming. And if you wish to talk to me one-on-one, that is a service that I offer all around the world, all around the week, through Skype. So you can go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, mindthatseekstruth.com. Click on Talk to Me for consultation, and you have your options. The site is being revamped. Soon there will be a new site replacing this old one. And until that happens, any appointments that we have up to 1 hour for Skype consultation, I will add another hour to it, complimentary of the site, which is me. So that makes it more affordable, and at the same time encourages people to not be shy, come along and talk to me. The testimonials of the people who have had a chance to talk to me is pretty awesome, I must say. And some of them are shared on the site with you, the effects that people, benefits they've received, and how they have worded them out for others to know. So, and I think my site will be pretty much ready in about a month or less. So if any of you are on the fence, would like to talk to me one-on-one to explore what's concerning you, please do, because until then I have this 1 hour for every hour. For 1 hour that you book, I'll give you 1 hour. If for the 30 minutes that you book, I'll give you another 30 minutes. Up to 1 hour, whatever you book, I'll give it to you double. Half an hour or 1 hour. So that's my support on this on this venture here. And what else? And also on the site, you can click on the books and see table of content of the books that I've written on subjects like the Breakup Pain Handbook, the Breakup Pain, which the book is called the Breakup Pain Handbook. That's about 600 pages. And Me, My Psyche, and I, which I highly recommend that book. That's 360 pages. And a book that I haven't seen it anywhere around. I don't think it's been explored, that book. I haven't seen it in any bookstore. Maybe I'm wrong, but it is about transient thoughts. It's called Transient Thoughts in Me. These are thoughts that appear in our heads and we don't know what they are, where they come from, why do they appear, what to do with them, do they define me, do they have anything to do with me, how to manage them, how to understand them. And these books are written in very simple ways. I'm educated but not sophisticated writer, so it's just like I talk. And I think it would be worth having them on your library. The printed ones are expensive. They're anywhere from $80 to $105 US, and they include shipping, and I'll sign them and write a note for you on it if that is what you wish, which we have done in the past. However, because many of you told me that it is expensive, so I did go and invest and turn them all into ebooks. So the same book of 600 pages, 360 pages, or 150 pages, whatever they are, from $80 to $100 is now at something like $4.99, $5.99, $6.99 until further notice. I think when the new site comes up, these prices will also have to be adjusted because they're really dirt cheap. They're like less than the price of good coffee or sophisticated coffee or trendy coffee or tea. Often tea is more expensive than my books. Honestly, I went to one of these places, specialty tea place, a few years ago. I had a cup of tea in the little thingy and a cup with it, small cup, so I could maybe make 2 cups out of it. $10, $10. It was called. It was coming from a. It was called. The name of it was the name of the origin of it was called Rind, I think. Something Rind. I think it's a province in India or someplace. I forgot the whole name. I forgot. It's something that ends with Rind. Anyhow, it was a nice tea, white tea. Now, I think I have complied with that. So anyhow, click on the books and you see table of contents. And click further, you can read the sample chapter, and if you like it, acquire it. And that's basically my plugs, I believe. So let's see what we have here. Sandeep says, hi, this is Sandeep here from India, male 25. Just for curiosity, I want to ask, is there any way to make your ex-girlfriend regret of leaving you? And another question is, do success is one of the best revenge? And please answer. Aha. Is there any way to make your ex-girlfriend regret of leaving you? Why is that important, guys? Before you contemplate on this, why don't you go into your psyche and say, why do I want this to be a possibility? What does it do for me? It's because you think the girl is better than you, because you think the girl is the representation of the judgment of the universe upon your worth and value. You think everybody has died and left her in charge to tell you if you're worthy or not, and her choices of you or somebody else determines the value of you or somebody else. Therefore, you want her to affirm you. And the fact that she has left you or changed her mind seems to you that, oh, that's the end of me, because that is how I can tell if I'm worthy or not. By her. Now the question is, who the hell is her? What has she accomplished in this life that has made her qualify that her desire for your choices or selections in life would determine the worth and value of that thing, including a person, which is you? What has she done? What is her specialty? Huh? Has she, what does she come up with? Like a healer for diseases around the world? She has a place where all old and young and people who need food and shelter and protection or medicine or to come and, she takes care of that. She present that kind of role in the world. Was she a healer? Is she a healer? Compassionate for the betterment of the world? Has she made this universe a better place? What has she done that to you, her choice or not of you is detrimental, to the point that unless she regrets leaving you, you won't feel good about yourself or who you are? What the hell your worth and value has to do with what she prefers or not? It's no different than the story they always said. You go to a jewelry store and they put different kind of, same ring in different material. Diamonds, cubic zirconium, crystal, glass, all four of them. And just because you choose the glass or the crystal or the cubic zirconium, does that automatically devaluate the diamond? Just because you didn't choose it? Your choice actually make the diamond's value go up or down or set a value for it? No, they just say the guy is stupid, didn't choose the diamond and went for the cubic zirconium or for the crystal ring. Because they don't say, oh, now the other things, the value of the other ones that she didn't choose or he didn't choose has gone down. No, they say, well, the person is oblivious to what quality is. That is how you should be thinking. That obviously she's not qualified to benefit from a man like you. Her taste means nothing to you. It only means something to her. And that is the limitation of her ability to appreciate certain things and not appreciate certain things, but has nothing to do with the worth and value of whatever she has or has not chosen. And because she represents pleasure, and your whole life is based on centered around pleasure, you think pleasure is smart. Pleasure is the judge of your character. You want to please pleasure because you desire pleasure. You're kind of giving a ransom to pleasure in order to catch her attention or the attention of the pleasure. In this case, she seems to be the source of that pleasure that you're seeking, whatever it is in your mind. Intimacy, sex, or just holding her hands, or just showing that I have a girlfriend, whatever the hell it is, it's pleasure. You're bowing to pleasure and you want now. Now, would you ever ask the same question if you were not interested in her, like she didn't represent the aesthetics that you would be fond of? No, you wouldn't care. So why is it that suddenly you care that she would regret? because you find your worth and value in her selection. You got to understand that she's got nothing to do with your worth and value. She's not qualified for anything. The only reason you think she's important is because you get pleasure from her. Oh, what pleasure? Maybe it's just conversation, or just to be with her, or just walk with her, or just have that image that I have a girlfriend, I'm walking with this girl, pretty or not, all of that. So otherwise, you should say, I don't give a shit what she thinks. Regrets or not regret. It's enough punishment for her that she doesn't have you. That's enough. Let go. Go on, get somebody else. Be busy with your life. What do you care? She regrets. Who is she? Don't make me upset. Now, so let go of that question. Don't even ask it. It's just belittling you. These are what makes you, these thinkings and questions is what actually makes you feel shitty about yourself. Why? Because you have allowed someone else's illusional capabilities to affect your worth and value in your mind by your own thoughts. That's stupid. Don't do that. And you say, is success the best revenge? Why do you give a shit to be successful for her? Be successful for you. That's what you should be focusing on you. Success for you, for your future wife and children, for your family, for your own prosperity, not for anybody else, for you to build your life. Who is she? She's gone. She doesn't worth fretting about. If she didn't see the quality and she lost her chance, okay. And you're 25 years old, for God's sake. There's no time to even be serious with anybody. When you have your job and you make money and you have built your life and accomplished some of the things you wanted to accomplish, and you're like 28, 29, 30, 31 years old, then you think about somebody who would qualify. These things are just warm-up games. You learn about women, and when they stay with you or don't stay with you doesn't mean anything. You shouldn't be serious about anybody. You're just 25 years old. Don't try to escape from your duties in life through finding girlfriend and suddenly be satisfied of your life and then stop pursuing what it is that you're supposed to be accomplished because you feel good about, I have a girlfriend, therefore I'm accomplished. No. You're not accomplished until you're accomplished without using a relationship or pleasure to feel, oh, I've got this pleasure, therefore I'm really high and mighty. No, go build yourself. She doesn't have anything to add to you. It is you who can add to you or diminish from you. Got that? Move on. Now, Muhammad says, oh, yeah, I did that. Tambi says, you Mehran, which means Uncle Mehran. I have a better abbreviation. You can say UM. That's Uncle Mehran. When I treat girls, he says, nicely, that's the only way you should treat them, not when I treat them nicely. You should only treat them nicely. Remember that. I don't care how many not qualified girls are out there, how many not qualified women are out there that they don't measure up in standards or class or qualities that you're looking for. If you're going on a date, you treat a woman right. You treat a woman with respect, with kindness, with love, with care. Make him feel secure, safe. Be a gentleman. Make sure they're comfortable. They feel good. Don't trick them. Don't abuse them. Don't try to use them. Just be there. Be a good friend. Have a good conversation. And if you guys both are at legal age and consent and feel good, then, I don't know, you can do whatever it is that you may want to do. But treat a woman right. It has two benefits, among others. And among follow-up benefits that you might live to enjoy. One benefit is that you bring joy and safety and comfort to that woman that you're dating. And the other one is that you feel so good about yourself, that you were such a gentleman, took good care of your guest. Because that's what it is. She's your guest when you take her on a date. Have no agenda on date. Just take her on a date. Let her feel the respect that she deserves. And then you've done good. The rest of it, you will feel. These are two immediate benefits. All right. Now, we go to... Tambi just says, when I treat a girl nicely, they treat me bad. Well, that's a reflection on them, not on you. In fact, treating a girl nice, it's a way to see who she is. If she treats you bad, that means she's not qualified, because she doesn't have enough confidence and capacity to accept good treatment and appreciate it, because she feels that's the right way. Instead, she doesn't have enough confidence, and she's scared of, oh, maybe I won't get that, so I better not be satisfied with it. So I will treat him like shit to think that I am higher and I have higher values. These are psychological problems that some women have. Therefore, you treating them well will help you to see the reaction to your good treatment, and you will see if they qualify, if they have the class, if they reciprocate, if they can understand. If they don't reciprocate, obviously means, okay, they've got some shortcomings that I don't want to be part of it. And then he says, they treat me bad and take me for granted. All right. It's making me to become harsh on them and cold-hearted ultimately. No, you can't treat ultimately breaking their hearts. Well, no, you can't. You don't have to retaliate. You don't treat them well, so if they don't treat you, and if they don't treat you well back, then you retaliate. It's not a war. You treat them well because you have to, because you like to, because you want to, because you're a gentleman, because that's what you think women should be treated well. And then, if they don't reciprocate, that's your gauge to know. You treat them because you have to, because you want to, as we talked about. Also because it is your way to see what they're made out of. Not to see what they're made out of, then I retaliate. No, just that, what they're made out of. If they are behaving well, reciprocating, and they appreciate it, they're classy, then you decide. If they're not, then you decide they're not your cup of tea. You move. So treating a woman right, beside many reasons that we talked about it, it's a way for you to see if she qualifies to be considered and continued your attention towards her. That's all. Not that, oh, she didn't, therefore now I gotta go for round 2. Nah. That's not being a gentleman. That's not being strong. Now, says, how do I overcome this dilemma? Yeah, I think we just completed your question. Your purpose of treating a woman, among other things that we just talked about, is just to see what she's made out of. And if she does reciprocate and meet your expectations after being treated so nicely, then you can see what kind of woman she is. And then you can see if you like to continue with her, or she doesn't measure up and you just simply don't have a follow-up date. You don't have to retaliate. That's it. It just tells you who they are. Look, you say hello to someone and someone says, oh, what? You say, okay, get lost. That's it. You don't start fighting with the guy. Just understand that the guy is low class. It's got nothing. It doesn't understand a pleasantry and civility. That's all. That's what you want to know. And that's pretty much the one of the many goals of going on a date is for both people. Now, Christian Martin says, 26 Philadelphia. Hello, Christian. My ex, he says, broke up with me due to small fighting, and then she quickly gets into a new relationship with a guy in the military. It makes me feel less valued as a man. No, it just makes her less valued as a woman. Why you guys are so mixed up? Honestly, clear your heads. Just because behavior of a woman is less than desirable, that doesn't bring your value less than what it is. It's a reflection on her. She is the one who is the actor for whatever it is that you're saying she's doing. What would it mean anything to you? Why should the action of a person that you can see is acting in a low quality behavior, which is leaving you, going right to another relationship right away with some guy, which is a very low class way of behavior. So why should behavior of such low level, low class, low quality behavior of a woman be in any way, shape, or form signifying your worth value or stamping on your worth and value? How could a low value behavior be a measuring stick, a gauge for your value? How could a piece of lead evaluate gold? How could a bad behaviored person be a measuring stick for a high value of somebody else? You don't evaluate diamond with crystal. You evaluate diamond according to whatever it is, how it is that they evaluate it, with something equally as valuable. So when her behavior shows that she's not really upper model of the, civilized behavior or class, then she couldn't be used as an instrument to evaluate something valuable, which should be you. So I think I rest my case. I gotta have tea here. Chris Adams is 26, male, UK. Hi, Mehran. Hello, Chris. I still my ex after nearly a year. I still what? You still miss your ex? I still my ex after nearly a year, even though we both moved on. I believe the word miss is missing there. Miss is missing. I still miss oh, there we go. I still miss the way we were, and it makes it hard to love others. Can you help? Yeah, just stop thinking she's still qualified, because what you're missing is how she used to be. If she was still the way she used to be, you guys wouldn't break up. You broke up as a sign and testimony of that she is no longer as she used to be, the way she used to be, which was the reason you loved her. So what you are missing definitely is how it was before you guys got close to your breakup. But the memories of how she was is still in your head. So when you think about it, by default, we like to think good about our exes. So we go find the fun parts, because human being likes to think about good stuff in the memory. So you have found the good stuff about her, and that's what you're missing. But she's no longer that. What you're missing is no longer in existence. What you're missing is the memory of how she used to be. You're not missing how she is now, because how she is now is she's the person who broke up with you. So obviously there were troubles, difficulties, and those difficulties caused the breakup. And therefore that means because of the breakup, she's no longer possessing the qualities that it caused you to love her when you did love her. That tells you what you love is her then, not her now. Because if that was the case, you guys would have both still be the same together for each other. But it wasn't. You separated. One of you or both of you decided, as you said, both decided to move on. And that's because you guys changed. So your memory is not who she is now. You're missing your memory. Well, recognize that the memory is non-existent, it's dead. And you're spending your time in there, having a relationship with your memory, and then you're missing something illusory which no longer exists, wasting your time. Recognize that and move on with your life. Come to the present. Live with the now as the happenings of things are happening. Meaning, get new friends, find who you are now, understand your differences, and naturally you expect different things. And you should, because you've changed. I don't know how long you guys were together, but you should now focus on finding someone qualified for your expectations of today. And stop living in the past and living with your memories and turning your life and what you call living to the death of the past. Because that's what you're doing. You're living through your memories. Memories are past. Memories are no longer existence. Past is dead. Past doesn't exist. Therefore, your life, as you call it, is living in the past, death of the past. So, live now. Come now. Watch. Be active, interactive. Participate in life today. I'm having trouble talking today. Not enough tea. So, you get the gist of it, I think. Move on. Get busy. Find friends. And focus in the now. Focus for who you are, what you expect. Find that kind of quality and see if you guys find things in common and compatibility, and then build on that. Forget about the memory. Memory was good when it was there, when it was real. Memory was good when it was real. When it's not real, what do you want to do with memory? You can't make changes in the memory, but in the reality, you can make changes. You can modify as it's blooming, as it's going on, as it's happening. But in the memory, you're stuck with that. That's set. You can't change anything. You can't build on it. You can't expand on it. It gets boring to think about it, but you can't touch it. Mentally, you can think about it, but physically, you can't touch it. So it's just a frustrating thing. Why should you spend your time on that? Yeah? Why? It's like keep looking at the picture of a sandwich and you're hungry. What? What are you going to do with it? Same thing with memory. The pictures are there, but you can't act on it. So understand that. That's dead, past, gone. Go for the reality, actuality. Find a real girl and see if you've got things in common. That's what I have to say about that. Chris. Now, Timmy says she was talking to be about her what? Boyfriend, even though we are some old pictures of her with someone I know. Oh, I see. He continues, says she was talking to be about her vacation that she went on with him but never brought him up. Yeah, because it's not proper. Keeps talking about her boyfriend when she's talking about you. But that is not a sign that she's telling you something that, oh yeah, I don't want to talk about my boyfriend because I'm interested in you. That's not necessarily the case. Yeah. Well, you will know if she's really interested. Don't try to read between the lines. When a girl has a boyfriend, don't try to read between the lines. Just wait for a real clear signal. Like, I broke up with my girlfriend and I'm ready for a new relationship. Then you try. So there would be no misunderstanding. But you know what I mean. Jack says, hi, I have a question. Let me go to the other part that I was. It says, I'm 21, but I never really used to watch things that are funny. So I'm always like, not humorous. Okay, let me start from the beginning. Hi, I have a question. Jack, first you got to observe the protocol. How old you are, where you're tuning in from, and the rest of it. Please, if you wouldn't mind. And I read your question because you said you're 21-year-old, but I want to know where you're from. It says, hi, I have a question. What do you think is the cause of not laughing a lot and always have a serious face? I'm 21, but I've never really used to watch things that are funny. So I'm always like not humorous. Try to find funny things in things. You create them. Like how cartoon, you used to watch cartoon, you used to laugh to cartoons. See how they make things, regular things, funny. You look at a tree, there's some shapes of a tree in the body of the tree. You can see the resemblance of it to something and laugh about it. You can walk by in the nature, and you can see things and see if there's anything funny. Like that store's got a, I don't know, sign says something like I don't know, some kind of a sign that you can pick apart, pick the name of it apart and make fun of the name. I don't know. If you look at avocado look like a pear. Oh, I've never seen an avocado look like a pear. It's kind of funny. Or many other things that you can come up with, but you gotta find things. The funny things are not necessarily they have to be discovered. It's like a game. A hide and seek game. Everything has something funny in it. Most things have something funny in it. Try to find them, and then you become an expert in kind of making yourself laugh. It's good for the soul to laugh, to not be so serious. And what are you so serious? Because you don't have enough confidence, or you don't want people to think that you don't have enough confidence, so you just keep a face of, and that stays with you forever. And you look like one of these people when you grow up. You think that you have to be cross-faced and serious in order to be taken seriously. Fuck that. Be an old man and still a child. Look at me. 63 years old, and none of you think I'm important. Just because I don't give a shit about being important. I just want to be in harmony with nature. I want to do good. I want to be part of healing process of natural things, including people. If I can make a difference that way, that makes me happy. So keep your childhood wishes with you. Be pure. Don't follow the obnoxious looks and negative looks, because that look is a negative energy. Look, you can't have a nice flow out of you, which is energy, if you tighten up yourself. And when you look like this, that means you've tightened up yourself, like a garden hose that you squeeze it and the water doesn't get out so easily. But you let it go, relax, and it makes flowers to grow and everything else. Same thing with you. You go like this or like this, you kind of look like constipated. What the hell is that? That's funny. People who look like that in the street make me laugh. So what's his problem? Unless he's got to go to the bathroom or he's got some sickness. Okay, I understand that. Otherwise, why is he a normal person who's healthy and just walking around like that? What does he think he is? He's just a sack of shit with, depending on what is in his head, he's making a big deal out of himself. So, relax. Do your best in life and be happy with yourself, and you don't have to impress others. You do these sort of things because you want to impress others. Don't give a damn. Don't impress anyone. Just impress yourself by doing good, doing your best. And be a child, if you like. Not a idiot child, but just child with responsibilities. Then you will laugh. It's easy to laugh. Laugh at yourself. Look in the mirror and then make faces and laugh. Put your hair up like that, and look at yourself when you wake up in the morning. Go into the mirror and laugh. Love yourself. Love life. Love nature. Love your image. Create certain kind of good feeling and energy extending outwardly from you. So when you look in the mirror, you actually get encouraged, inspired, because there's a good energy, good person's image is out there, because you created this glowing, energetic face out of yourself by simply having a good outlook, being positive, being happy, being good internally. That'll give you that spirit of easy laugh. Why not? What's wrong with that? What are you afraid of? The people think, oh, he's not so classy, he's laughing. The hell with them. Laugh. Okay. Emmanuel says, hello, Mehran. Male 26, Boston. Hello, Emmanuel. And the Paris experience says, hi, Mehran. My name is Paris and 30 years old from Los Angeles. My ex broke up with me 6 months ago. We had plans to get married and were even building a home from scratch. He has 3 boys. I have 1. She continues, the boys still talk, and one of his sons told my son, my ex has a new girlfriend. With a son. His kids aren't happy about it. Makes me so mad. Another woman is living in the home I designed. How do I move on? Yes. Honestly, Paris, we need to discuss this one. So, if you can, I suggest you go on my site, make an appointment with me on Skype, and we'll explore it. As I said, you book for 1 hour, I'll give you an extra hour. That'll be 2 hours, and it'll be a good start. Maybe it'll be enough. But this needs a little bit of background, and I need to go back and forth with you and get to know lots of things about you, lots of things about your ex, what happens, what not happened, to be able to somewhat understand his thinking, his consciousness, and then your consciousness, and then bring about where the divisions and conflicts started and how to move on. So these sort of things are very important, and they're not like to be looked at like lightly. And I understand what you're going through. There's lots of emotions and lots of resentments there. So it's not a formula that it should be. This formula should be built for you according to your psyche, and I don't know your psyche. So it's a pretty heavy burden right now. I understand that. And not knowing enough, it will be just generic, just spitballing, and I don't want to do that, because I know what you're going through. This is important. So let me know if you can do that, and by all means we'll explore it together. Emmanuel says, I guess one of my main problem is believing that the relationship is over. I don't want to list your mistakes, Paris, because I don't know. But one mistake that I can see is that you gave him something prematurely, and that was your all. You designed a home, tried to build a home when there was not the kind of commitment that you would have expected for that kind of a generosity or that kind of a investment of energy, which you did. So that was a mistake. When the guy says, let's build a home, consciousness is constantly being modified. Whether you want it or not, everyone's consciousness is constantly reacting to the events that are happening, and they're being thrown at the fabric of the consciousness, which it bounces it back based on how that fabric is put together, which is the content of the consciousness and the fragments of it. So naturally, consciousness is being modified. So what guarantee do you have that that consciousness will not be changed by the time that you're actually finished the house or going through building the house? So you would need to ask, yeah, that's a great idea. So let's make plans. Because if I really want to be, I will be very emotional. If I want to be in that project, I'd be very emotional. I would be very attached. These are reasons for attachments, because the images of future lifestyle meeting my standards would be created in my consciousness. And those images would have an imprint, which I don't want to simply risk creating those images without having a security cushion that those images would be protected by having a good chance to be fulfilled. Meaning, how the hell do I know that you're not going to back out? Which he did. So for that, you should have asked for commitment. Commitment, I don't mean necessarily getting married. Commitment on paper. That you're entitled to this because of this effort you're making. I don't care. My father was a lawyer. And he was one damn good lawyer. Internationally and nationally, he was very educated. He had a PhD in law. And one day I was talking to him, and I was involved with a partner of mine in regards to a business, and I was writing a contract, and there was some issues between me and this business partner. And I talked to my father about it. And one of the things he told me was that I will deal with the devil, but only in writing. And how true that is. So, same thing. If it comes to something serious, well, I want it in writing, and so should you. Where is your evidence? Where is your document? Where is your entitlement? You're putting your life and soul and emotions in there, hopes and aspirations and whatever it is that you have envisioned, plus your time and energy. Why? Trust? Well, the benefit of your efforts will not continue benefiting you when that relationship severs, which it did. So anyhow, you get the gist of it. I hope that you will have a chance to make an appointment with me on Skype, and we'll hopefully pursue it further. This is so much to talk about. Now, Emmanuel says, I guess one of my main problem is believing that the relationship is over. It's very easy. Is she there? No, the relationship is over. You know, you have to first thing to move on, first rule to move on is to accept the fact that the relationship is over, that the fact that it's broken up, the other side is no longer qualified for you to consider the other side as a viable choice. So it is not that you have a hard time believing that the relationship is over. It's that you have a hard time to believe that what you think of the relationship is just a memory. You're allowing the memory replace itself, replace the actuality of your thoughts, the actuality of your life, the actuality of what it is, which is a broken relationship, and your memory constantly tries to mend it. Oh, no, the memory is here, so the relationship must be on. No, it's not, because there's no physical interactions right now, as it's happening now, at the moment, the now. That's what you should be focused on, and you will be convinced that, oh yeah, okay, there's none, because I'm talking to myself. Yeah? Whenever you call her name, do you hear back? Or you say, honey, I love you. Do you hear anything back? That means non-existence. And when there is a non-existence, you can't be fooling yourself. Believe in your senses. All right. Mohammed says, Mehran, do you think that most of the breakup issues and how we take long time to heal, and the issues are rooted to absence of having real goal in life? Yeah, it has something to do with it for sure. I feel that I do not have real goal. Yes, and then therefore you miss the relationship, because the relationship is always acts as an accomplishment, and we are always cued in for accomplishments, conditioned to accomplish, to be more, to become from now to this, from here to this. Becoming is what we are conditioned, and that is the roots of all problems, because we are never satisfied. We're always supposed to think that I gotta be more, so therefore I gotta become. Even if I come from here to here, from this to that, whatever I am to something else, I've become. But then again, the same question exists there at that stage. I still want to become. But when you have an accomplishment, when you have a girlfriend, your relationship, the pleasure you see through the intimacy and through that relationship makes you feel that you have accomplished something. That's why many people who are you're alcoholic or on drugs, they don't think they need to accomplish anything, because the pleasure of being drunk or somehow receiving some kind of feeling through whatever it is, drug, or it makes one feel that there's nothing else for me to accomplish. I'm accomplishing, because pleasure replaces the desire for accomplishment, because you accomplish things in order to bring about pleasure into your life. But when you shortcut it and go right for pleasure, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or sex, or whatever it is that gives you pleasure, that pleasure seems to be what you've been trying to accomplish things in order to arrive to this stage of pleasure. But you are here, the pleasure. Artificially, you created it through drugs, through alcohol, through sex, in different ways, of course. You know, sex is legitimate pleasure, and it's not a negative thing. But what I'm trying to say is that when you desire pleasure, and through pleasure you feel wonderful about yourself, you feel you don't need anything else, especially sexual pleasure with your partner, at that moment of intimacy and ecstasy, you feel you're not even aware of yourself. In other words, you're one with the nature. You feel you don't even exist, but yet you have everything there is to want and to have. You're fulfilled of every desire, and you have no other desire. That's when you actually feel, that's where I want to be, because at that place where I get that kind of a pleasure, whether you get it through sex or through drugs or alcohol, you are not aware of your own needs or desires for anything, and at the same time you feel you have everything. That's the place that you end up parking your car and foregoing any effort toward your accomplishing your goals, and you forgo all goals because you've already shortcutted. You want the goals and accomplishment to get pleasure, but you got the pleasure one way or another. Therefore, you find no need for continuing anything. Therefore, it is imperative to have goals in life. So your relationships will not replace your goals and make you lazy to the point that you actually lose everything you had because you didn't pursue the goals you had because you were benefiting from pleasure. And that became your addictive substance. Addicting substance. Whatever. You get the gist of it. And Muhammad continues, I feel because I do not have real thing to get busy with cause me focus on breakup issues, although it does. Yes, exactly what we just discussed. Absolutely right. So don't get fooled by that. Go for your goals and commitments first. Get involved with them. You will have naturally exhilarating life and energy flows through you strong, and you don't have a need to bow to a pleasure to get that kind of an energy flow because you already created it through your pursuit of accomplishments and goals. And therefore, when it comes to a relationship, you will choose them based on qualifications, not based on your desire to be fulfilled by pleasure, which would then fluff your ego and so on and so forth. Then you get hooked on that source, which happened to be that woman that you used to get the pleasure and feel good about yourself and so on. Then you see her as accomplishment. Then you pursue her and sacrifice everything else, which is actually the source of what you can achieve in life, including have a wonderful relationship. Through your accomplishments and achieving your goals, you can find wonderful relationship possibilities. But through pursuing a relationship without having goals and commitments, you cannot continue having a source which would give you all that fulfillments of your desires, which is supposed to be, the source supposed to be your accomplishments and your goals. Okay, hopefully it wasn't that confusing. David says, hi Mehran. Hello David. Happy Saturday, 31-year-old New York. Nice to meet you. Good to see you, David. This is the first time, David. Everyone, please, if you will, there are 20 of us here at the moment participating or watching. I would like to ask you to kindly click on like if you like. We need to be visible and recognized by the YouTube algorithm, and at least the smallest thing that we can do towards that goal. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Just click on subscribe and just be subscribed, and then at least we have moved a little bit closer to that 1 million subscribers that we are hoping to get. Let's see, how far are we? I think we are just about, we're very close. We're just shy of 984,000, and I'm sure, with your help, guys, we will. So talk to your friends about the quality of this channel and contents. Why am I having a problem talking to today? So, in other words, before I die, subscribe. Otherwise, it looks like I'm having trouble talking today. So, who knows how long this will continue. Now, David says, and thank you for being here, David. 31 New York, nice to meet you. How do you get over who you were with and whom recently posted a picture of their new boyfriend as shared it publicly on social media? Well, the question is, why do you care? Why do you give it up? Why are you conditioned to think that it's important if your ex stays celibate and go in a convent and live and cry for not being with you? If you guys are not compatible, then why would you care if she cries for you, doesn't go out with anybody else, or goes with somebody else and has found somebody that she can be compatible with, find things in common? Why? Because you think that her selection and your value have a direct connection. Her choices, you think, is detrimental to your worth and value, which is nonsense, utter nonsense. Who is she? We just discussed this earlier. Who is she that suddenly what she chooses in life sets value for the things that she didn't choose? She goes to a produce place and she takes this apple. Now suddenly all the other apples diminish. All the signs on them, $2 a pound, $1 a pound, $3 a pound, they all diminish. Oops, all to 50 cents a pound. Why? Oh, that lady there chose the other apple. Wow. Who is she? The apple lady. The apple goddess, yeah? This is how you're thinking about these relationships. That because she chooses another guy, puts a picture of somebody else, her selection, that means I'm devaluated. Suddenly, the guy who went to school and did this, did that, experiences and life experiences, so on, and what I have become, who I've become, I'm nothing because she chose somebody else. It doesn't make sense, guys. It doesn't make sense. So, it means what? It means you are actually being duped by your conditioning through childhood, that you're not good enough, that you should be more. You've always been compared by your teacher, by your mother, by your auntie to somebody else's son, somebody else, some other student in the classroom. Oh, look, he got A. Oh, look what she did so well. No, look, this guy is playing, good, violin or whatever the hell it is that he plays. You've always been compared. So to you, you're conditioned that I am not good enough. So for every little thing that is denied from me, I think that means, my value is diminished. So I now got to really try to get her. I now got to suffer because she's chosen somebody else. And most of these values, ever since we were kids, were given to us or denied by women. Your mother, your auntie, your teacher. Most teachers, at least mine, were women. And of course, and also we love women. We've learned, and if you're a heterosexual male specifically, then you love women for many other reasons that you would, and respect them and you value them, so they become very instrumental to letting you know how good you are or not good you are. Everything. And also when you have sex, you think her views of your performance when having sex with her is what makes you to be a recognized, a good stud or not. It's all about their views instead of you really focusing on facts. I'm a man. I make my decisions. I'm the one that actually gives her value. That's how you should think from your point of view. Because if there is no you, there is no value for her. She who you think is actually giving you or diminishing your values is actually valuable because you liked her, because you bestowed upon her this value, this opinion. Because of you, she has value in your mind. Right? Why other women don't have much value in your mind? Because you did not unleash your feelings or your attention, your focus onto them. Because you don't necessarily are aware of them or their specialities, you do not find them value. They do not have value in your eyes. So the one that has value in your eyes is because you gave her value. Your attention gave her value. And now you're duped by what you have created, thinking that it is her that gives you value, to the point that if she doesn't choose you, doesn't put your picture up on the post of Facebook, you think, oh, therefore somebody else is better than me. I hope it gives you some reason to ponder and free yourself from that train of thoughts. Jack says, hello again, Mehran, 21 UK. I'm feeling a bit better this week. I have started to realize that things were not too good towards the end. However, I can't stop thinking about the good times at the start. Well, yeah, why should you stop thinking? It's pleasant. We like pleasantries, pleasant things. So, yeah, do think about them. But just as well, when you finish thinking about all those pleasantries, quickly bring up to date the files that tells you what happened at the end. So then you see, okay, just the fact that it was good, the memory at the beginning, does not justify that you should have continued it now that is no longer good, because the file tells you, look, the evidence is here. Your memory tells you about the ending. Wasn't good. So separate the two. Do not think the fact that you enjoy the memory is now justifying the fact that you should have been here and you should miss her. No, you're missing the memory, and that memory was fine. It had a place in your life, but you should not be missing the way she is now. Recognize that who she is now is no longer your memory. Your memory does not represent how she is today. How she is today is represented by the fact that you guys broke up. That is telling you who she is today. Therefore, the fact that you think about the good stuff is good, but also bring the fact that how it happened and who she is and how she is now, which makes you free from actually wanting to be with that what was good at the beginning. Hope that will give you some help. Tambi says, oops, Tambi doesn't say. Tambi says, you am Uncle Mehran. An amazing shortcut to save letters, space, lol. That's a superb guideline you gave me to evaluate a girl qualification. I respect women in general, and I treat them nicely because it's in my nature. Good. That's what I like to hear. But remember, just because you're a gentleman, that doesn't mean any woman is qualified to be with you. To be a gentleman is a trait, is how we are, how we should be, how we treat women, to set examples for everybody, our children, our sons and our daughters, how they should be treated, or how our sons should treat women. But being a gentleman doesn't mean that you should now accept any woman who comes your way just because she's a female and you're heterosexual male. You're programmed in your gene to love women and pursue women. Therefore, she's a female, therefore she's qualified. No. There's a lot more in there that you should look for. All right. Jack C says nothing. Message retracted. Okay. Mohammed says, Mehran, I have started reading your book, and I encourage people to read it many times. However, is it only directed to those who are below 30, or is it applicable to all ages? Of course, all ages. Why would it be directed to people below 30? Is there anything in that book anywhere says the age limit? No, that book is how the psyche works, in my understanding, in my opinion. So, nothing to do with age. Sound is gone? Is sound gone, guys? Tambi says sound is gone. Somebody tell me, are you guys still hearing me, or sound is gone? Don't all of you answer at the same time, one at a time. No what? Sound is gone or no? Is sound good? Can you guys hear me okay? Now remember, one by one, don't all of you answer at the same time. Maurice is loud and clear. But nobody else is responding. Why not? Okay. What is it? Okay, thank you. So what was it, Tambi, that you said? Oh, you said it's my headphones. Tambi, pull your ears. All right. Now, scared me. I said, oh, how am I going to repeat all that? I don't even remember what I said. So thank you, Murray. Thank you very much for letting me know that the sound is okay. Murray says, haha, I'm still an idiot child, male, 56, Manitoba, Canada, smiling hard. That's good, that's good, that's good. All right, Juanpa says, male 23, Costa Rica. Says, hi Mehran, I hope you are well. After 3 months since my ex broke up with me, I feel so much better. But last Sunday she called and I didn't know it was her. I felt weird after talking to her, like if I was missing her again, or caring if she was with someone else. And for the next day, I wanted her to keep calling me or texting me. How can I call trigger that way into my head and making me doubt of the new order I was trying to form? Now, this is a very good question. You see, I'm trying to make this short, but it can be a long one. I'm going to make it short. You see, you all know through my videos and discussions and live talks that you don't have a relationship with your girlfriend or your girl, you don't have a relationship with your boyfriend, or whatever your relationships. You know you don't have a relationship with each other. You have a relationship with each other's image. You have an image of you in your mind, and you have an image of her in your mind. She has an image of her in her mind, and she has an image of you in her mind. These two images are having a relationship. Just like when you go out of your home, as we talked about it 100 times before, at least a few times before, when you go to a store to shop, you have an image of a shopper. When you are working in the store, you have an image of a clerk. You ride a bus, you have an image of a student. You drive a bus, you have an image of a bus driver. You're the same person on different occasions. You go into school, you're in the classroom, you have an image of a student. You teach a class, you have an image of a teacher. You go to your parents, you have an image of a son or a daughter. You're with your children, you have an image of a father or a mother. These images keep changing according to what it is you're about to do or you want to do in your daily life. And when it comes to your relationship, there is the image of you that has having a relationship with the image of her. So your relationship is really with the image, with the voice resonance of the sound that affects your receptors. It resonates with you and affects you. That sound. So you're having a relationship with a bunch of words, meanings of the words. It creates a certain feelings in you by its interpretation of its meaning in your thoughts, according to your conditioning and your consciousness, content of your consciousness. The words would be translated into meanings. The meanings would be translated into, transformed into pictorials. The pictures represent a certain action that represents certain emotion, and plus the voice, the sound, all resonate in a certain way and impress you and affect you in a certain way, and that is your relationship. The words, the thoughts, emotions, meanings, sound, and pictorials, and the image that you have from each other. And of course then, we're not talking about the touch and physical stuff because that's always there. But when they're not with you, these imprints that I just explained replace the whole entirety of that relationship, brings about it into your mind and makes it seem as if everything is real. So everything is actuality because you have perfect memory of the resonance of the sound, the meaning of the words, the feelings that you received, the emotions that it was created because of the meanings of the words, and the images, the smile and all the pictorials. All of that is there. The only thing is not the physical. But often, most things in life is created by your thoughts, and thought tries to replace the reality, the actuality. So when these things are there, but the physics is not there, it's kind of enough for you to relive that experience and then rekindle the desire for the pleasure that you would receive through the combination of what we all said, plus the physical presence of her. And the only thing that is not there is the presence of the physical portion. And then you start, when the desire takes shape nevertheless. Because what is the steps that it takes for desire to be born? We all talked about it, right? There are prerequisites before desire is created. And all those prerequisites are residing in your memory, whether they are happening fresh right now in front of you or they have happened before. All these steps for desire to take shape is there. Remember the steps for desire to take shape? You should remember. We talked about it many times. There are many number of steps. Let's go over them very quickly. Say you see an auto in the auto show from the distance, from this end of the saloon, this end of the convention center. You see all these cars. You see a car there. Let's say a green or yellow or red car. Your eye catches. Interest. So you go closer. And you go closer to the car. And you touch the car, the door. Now the other sensor is coming to the picture. You lift up the hood. The smell of the engine, sensories. Your eyes seeing the sophistication of the engine or the design. All information coming in. But when you saw the car from the distance, your eye contact created it. It was all just, okay, you recognize it's a car. But now that you touch other sensories come into the picture. Lift up the hood, you look at the stuff. You open the door, you sit in the car. Now you put your hands on the wheel. Now, the image of you driving the car, you think, the thought comes to the picture. How would my friends think of me when they see me driving this car? Wow. What about that girl that I like? You imagine her sitting beside you and, I don't know, the window is open. Her hair is flowing in the, in the wind and all that, whatever. And then all that images and how you think you look like when you're driving this car, how other friends look like, how people think. All these images that is created, the pictorials, that's when the desire is created. Until the pictures, the images were created, there was no desire. But when you actually use all the sensories and then you sit down and you create an image of the benefits you receive from it, the feelings that you get by the pictorials that you create in your mind, then the desire is created. Now you want to buy the car. Whether they know it or not, but why do you think is the reason that they want you to test drive the car? It's not just for you to feel the engine. No, that's one of them. They may not even know it. They think that they want you to experience how the car drives. But in fact, what happens is all the sensors come to the picture and you picture when you're actually driving, you record an image of that experience, which that experience's image is also recorded, which you see yourself driving that car. The feeling you get, I have this car. And that those images is what really creates a desire. And desire, you want to buy the car. Now, all that thing, that prerequisites for desire to be created, is also created in everything else that you desire, including your girlfriend. But the fact is, with your girlfriend, all those experiences, all those stages for desiring her, all those experiences of having seen her, having talked to her, having held her hand, having gone to coffee or tea, and having had activities, sport activities, dining out, this and that, touching, kissing, holding, the images of that, the feelings, the emotions, all that is recorded and is available to your memory. Once you recall that through her voice, her text, all of that comes back. The steps, prerequisites to desire to be created is already there. It doesn't have to happen again because it clearly affects you the same way as if it's just happening in case of, your girlfriend. Therefore, when you think of her, all those steps comes the prerequisites for desire to take place, to be born, and then the desire is born. That's why you feel you miss her. Because you allow those pictures, the images, to come with her voice, with her text, and all that, which ends you upside down in a way that you feel you miss her. So, your relationship is not between you and her, because you are your consciousness, she is her consciousness. The relationship at the beginning is not with the consciousness, it's between the image you have of her in your mind and the image you have of you in your mind, and vice versa for her. And a bunch of words, smell, her voice, the sounds, and all this, which is very simply triggers all the prerequisite stages necessary for desire to be born, and then desire is born, then you miss her. All right, when you understand all this, then when you stop the process of creating images, every time you don't want to desire something, stop it when it's about to create the images of the benefits that you would receive. Then the missing will not take place, or not as easy actually, if you can really control it. And focus on some other things, create other pictorials in your mind, and then those pictures will not be present in your mind about your girlfriend to fulfill the steps necessary for desire to be created. Therefore, desire stops from being created. I hope that would be something helpful for you, and we'll go to the next Juanpa. I wonder if you guys really hear all these things anywhere else. So if you haven't talked about this channel, you better talk about it with everybody you see. Promote the channel, guys. What happened? We lost 6 people. Something I said. Christian says, Mehran, can you give advice on how to find one's purpose? I forgot, Christian, how old are you? Let me go up there. You must be here somewhere. '26, Philadelphia. Ah. '26. Well, obviously you've educated yourself in something that you love, hopefully. He says, I have a good paying job, but not happy with it. How do we find our passion? You're 26 years old, too early to find your passion. Not necessarily too early, but it is possible that you haven't had enough experiences and things that you, in things that you like, to really think of one of them as your passion. Give it time. Don't rush. It will come to you. I always knew I liked doing what I'm doing, but I didn't know I will do it. I hadn't found the research I was looking for. I hadn't completed, or at least on the way to find the pathway to enlighten myself to a certain point. So it took a while for things to come together. And they came together without me really trying. It's just my propensity toward that gravitated me toward certain way of learning, certain things that attracted me, and then eventually I embarked. Because all through these, let's say, 55 years that it took me to eventually write the books, I was attracted to certain way of thinking, certain philosophies, certain things here and there, experiences. I wrote stuff. I came up with things, which has started from my days in university in martial arts, about the movement of mind and body coordination, our relationship with the nature and us, the energy of the universe and ours, the exchange of the energy between the two. All these were part of my passion. And I would dabble on writing things about it, thinking about it, pondering it, trying to expand my abilities and find out more about things that I had been taught, and then modifying some of the things that I would teach to my students when I was teaching martial arts and so on. And then the whole thing to be the catalyst for what I was looking for, which I stumbled on, the teachings of a master of 100 years ago, and then I explored his thoughts and experiences, and then from then I was able to amalgamate the two and then find a way to deliver things a little bit differently for more digestibility to people, and then find a way to feed them rather than feed the actual roots. I'm not feeding you the roots of what I want to share with you, which is our psyche, how it ticks and how it's put together and all the elements in it. But I'm feeding it through a serving of a different dish, which is relationships, breakups. Through that, I'm actually sharing with you what I really am passionate about, which is the movement of mind. And that's my way of delivery. So it took so long for the knowledge, research, experience, all of that to come together. When it hasn't come together, it doesn't feel like you will. But once it came together, I didn't even try. I suddenly found myself writing the books because I had that urge, and now it's time. Now it's time. I could feel it. It's now. I got to write these books. And of course, the rest of it, I fell into. The channel was created just for sharing some things, and then it snowballed. And it turned into complete passion and full-time of pretty much helping anybody from any part of the world on Skype. You know, for 2 or 3 years, I did Skype consultation for free. Anybody from anywhere in the world, any place, whether it was Jamaica or it was Mexico, or it was Thailand, or I don't know where it was, Thailand or anyway, Germany or wherever it was, I didn't care. I accepted. And then suddenly everything became the way it is now, which is pretty much nothing at the moment yet, but we are hoping for it. But you find your passion when everything is mature enough. So until then, do what you need to do to make ends meet, but never forget about you're looking for your passion. Experience life, things that you like to do. Explore what you think it is suitable for you to learn. And then eventually, and I will always be toward that particular window that you like, that particular subject that you're passionate about, even though you don't recognize it, that you're passionate about it, but you have interest towards it. And then you will explore more and learn more and more, and eventually at a certain age, because of all those experiences and preparations, that becomes apparent to you that that is what I want to do, which it is very clear for me at this age. Although I have done many things in my life and I've explored in business, in education, in things, and I've experienced lots of things, that all of that helped to bring me to this part and help me to have benefit for this, what I'm doing now, including all the direct or indirect things that I've learned, which has been instrumental for my ability to share with you and deliver what I deliver. Now, Muhammad says, before that, Christian says, I feel I have a lot of drive, but do not know where to put that. Well, put it wherever it is appropriate right now, and focus on making yourself better in things that you really like, and then you will explore that and expand on your learnings even more on your own, and then eventually you'll come to understanding that, oh, this is my passion and this is the time. Muhammad says, Mehran, in order to not regret what we have done to our exes, do we need to be thrifty in our emotions, commitment, and all aspects? Because if the other partner did not give the maximum, then they're not up to our standards. And this is applicable to us as well. So do we need to be outgoing or thrifty? Are you meaning that you should hold back on your emotions when you like someone because you're not sure if you're going to be reciprocated? Is that what you're meaning? It says, do we need to be thrifty in our emotions, commitments, and all aspects? Because if the other partner did not give the maximum, then they are not up to our standards. Well, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So you have to do it in moderation. You have to be balanced. You can't just open the fire hose to someone who asks a glass of water. If you do that, it just blows the guy away and says, oh, holy shit, even though it was water, but it damaged me. Like, I don't have the value for it because it's so much, and also blew me away. So it's too much of something is really also never good. So when you want to give emotions according to, if it's appropriate and how much of it. Don't blast the person with emotion. Oh, darling, I love you. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're gorgeous. Oh, marry me. Oh, I'll do anything for you. Of course, she's going to throw up. Why? Because most people don't have confidence in themselves, and they see you're going all out. They feel, oh, this guy is just bullshit. It's nothing. Why? Because he likes me. And she doesn't think much of herself. So when she says, why is he liking me so much? I don't think I'm that hot. So, the fact that he's so available, then it's no challenge anymore. She already got something without even desiring, without even wanting it, without even asking for it. So suddenly she loses interest. It's no difference than you just walking in the street and there's a store says, handbags of this and this design, $5,000. Okay, so that would be nice if I can. And you go to the next store, it says handbags of the same kind of a thing, giving away free. You may not even go in there to buy it because you kind of say, oh, free? And they look exactly like the other one. Maybe not the same brand, but exactly look the same. But you don't buy it. Why? Because it's free. Usually when something is free, people think that's how much it's worth. Free, nothing. So when you really go all out by too much emotion, out of place, it loses value, If you're walking in some kind of a mountain, you find one piece of gold or one piece of diamond, you say, oh, but if you've got like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pieces of gold there, after a while you don't really pick them up so quickly because it's there, okay. Or so much diamond all over in the world, it loses its value because it's so readily available, right? So you make your emotions so readily available in abundance to someone who really hasn't done anything to deserve it that much, or even she's done something but it's like overly, it's too much. It's like you're paying for a cup of tea. Instead of $3, you can pay a tip for $1 is $4, but suddenly you pay $50. The person who's making the tea says, well, this guy is stupid. Doesn't think you're generous. Think he's a dumb shit. He's stupid. So you go overly out to show your emotions and attention to this woman. She will think that actually that whole emotion is coming from a devaluated person, because that kind of so much emotion means so she must be so cheap, so not so valuable to him. And if it's not so valuable to him that he's giving it away so much, why should it be valuable to me? Doesn't even want it. All right, so in moderation, balance. Don't have to be thrifty. Don't have to keep yourself. No. Just be natural, normal, enough. You know what? What do you mean more thrifty or more? Like if she's doing something nice to you, say thank you. Oh, it was very nice of you. But you say, oh, thank you, it was very nice of you. What can I do to repay you? Oh, can I pay you this money? Oh, let me kiss your hand. Oh, then you know it's too much. So reciprocate for two reasons. One, that is just appropriate, in moderation, balance. And also then through your actually showing emotion, you can see how she reacts. If you don't show emotion, be thrifty, you can never see how she reciprocates or how it bounces back. What's the effect of you doing that on her and how she reciprocates, how she responds to it. You will never see that. So don't be thrifty, but don't be overly there. Just be balanced. I think that is what I have to say about that. Juanpa says, male 23, Costa Rica. Thank you for that, Juanpa. Every time you do that, that's very nice. Says, also, Mehran, it bothers me a little that the new girls I have known in a romantically way after my ex, I don't consider her as physically attractive as my ex. I know the physical part is not what really matters. Well, it matters, but it's not the only thing that should matter. But how not to feel uncomfortable with that? Well, I don't know. I mean, the way you make it sound is like the Gouge Porsche of the Notre Dame. I mean, that's going to make you uncomfortable. A kind of a look of the body. It's kind of, it's a movie character, of course, but the way you make it sound is like, well, what is she? What have you chosen? Is she a dragon? What is it? See, so she's not the same as your ex. Okay, well, she's not, and you don't have to choose her if it's not palatable to you. You can move on to find somebody else that you might think is more suitable to what you have in mind of the satisfactory avatar or physical attributes of your girlfriend to be or your friend. But it seems to me the reason you ask this question because you actually like her, because she's affected you nicely, and the only thing that stands in your way in the relationship, I think, is the physical attribute that you're not that. And you're comparing it with her. So in other words, you don't really see her as who she is, physically or mentally. Maybe mentally you do, but physically you don't. And that, of course, is something that you should decide. There's no way to, logically address that. Something that you gotta like. All right, let's move on to the next question, Juanpa. Antron says, hello Mehran, God bless. I have so many questions, yet can't find the right one. Can't find the right one. Okay. Richard Wright. Now, and I logically know the correct action to take. Yet I don't. Can I get some tough love? Yeah, go for it. Oops. Guys, don't forget to like the live talk, if you wouldn't mind. please. Where was it? Okay. So Antron says, I'm experiencing insanity from... Are you experiencing insanity? Call the hospital. From failure to attain my desires. Ooh. And the aversion of despair. How can I appreciate life from the perspective of detachment? You're talking in riddles. I want to see real feelings and real question. These are philosophical. I want to see real words. Detachment to what? From what? Explain. How can I appreciate life from perspective of detachment? Well, do you mean you love life and everything about it, that you're afraid of losing it all, and then you can't love it because you're going to have to part from it all? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't quite understand. I'm experiencing insanity from failure to attain my desires and the aversion of despair. How can I appreciate life from the perspective of attachment? First, detachment. First of all, I need to have more elaboration on it. Secondly, change the definition of life for yourself. Focus on the actuality and the present moment and appreciating all the little things in that moment. And let that be the meaning of life for you, rather than certain expectations in the far distance that you hope it will come to fruition, would define life for you as per achieving that goal, which would brings you certain kind of satisfaction that you desire. So I need the questions to be open, guys. I don't want you to be fancy. Just give me what you feel, what your heart feels, so I can understand your feelings. Antron says, I'm borderline hedonistic with 95% of my pleasure from external sources: substance, sex, aggression, combat. And the last from within, and last percentage from within. Currently, battling negative behavior patterns, procrastination, inconsistency. Well, you're living a physical world, physical life, and there's always a limitation and duration to physical life. So what are you going to do when you get old enough or sick enough because of your indulgements in substances and drugs and things like that, to the point that you can't function normally? Then what's going to be your pleasures? Then how are you going to satisfy your definition of meaning of life? Understand that your life comes into this world in two shapes, two parts: mind and body. And the combination of the two and coordination of the two, when the two move together in harmony, then you manifest your total power and total understanding of the experience of life. But when you separate and focus on experiencing life through physical sensories, physical experiences only, you will have no reactions bounced on your consciousness on the physical experiences of pleasure. And when you don't, you have nothing to rely on, no experiences gained. You will not have experiences from pleasure. Pleasure is a sensation. It's a momentary sensation at which time you feel you don't exist and you don't need anything, yet you have everything. But there is no residual of knowledge and wisdom from that pleasure. That's why you keep having to do it again and again and again. There is no memory of the pleasure. When you think of anything, any thought, any experiences, you get a certain feeling and emotion and you react to it. But when you think about a certain pleasures that you experienced, you don't get that pleasure, you don't get that feeling anymore. Therefore, you got to go after it again. Hence, addictions. Depending on what it is, of course, alcohol and drugs and all that brings addiction, and the same thing with sex. So if your purpose of experiencing life and your experiences in life is only physically based, which brings no memory to it, no filing to it, that you recall on it, which means you have to constantly doing it in order to experience that feeling again. The memory of it is not enough. The knowledge of it is none. The experience and wisdom from it is pretty much non-existence. So you keep repeating it in order to get the same effect, which of course, whether it's substance or not, brings addiction to that activity, whatever it is. So you got to learn that what you're doing, you're living a half-life, which is only on physical portion of your life. You need to bring consciousness into the picture. Fulfill or feed your consciousness by experiences that beyond your physical limitations, like eating, sex, drugs, or combat. All of these physical things eventually run their course, and your body either doesn't take it, you can't do combat anymore, or aggressions, or you can't do the sex as good as you used to, and you're sick because of all these substance abuse and all. Then what are you going to do? Then how are you going to continue to live? Then what are you going to be attached to? What are you going to enjoy? What is going to be the source of your enjoyment if you actually continuously pursue this kind of life, which is limited, and its duration is, it has a duration, and then you are diminishing in capabilities, in activities, in abilities in those activities, which naturally will tell you you won't be able to continue and enjoy the life as you know it. So you better learn to combine mind and body living, which is the only natural way and healthy way of living, which will be able to help you to continuously, to your old age, have ways to enjoy and appreciate and build and produce and accomplish things in life, and enjoy from those accomplishments and advancements and learning and research and so on, because they're not limited to physical capabilities and abilities, which is always diminishing in its qualities, which will in effect reduce your abilities to experience them, and diminishes the qualities as you get older in everything they just named here. So recognizing that helps you to kind of modify your behavior. I don't know if there was a question here or not. I don't know how I saw a question here. It was just basically you were telling me how you live. You're battling negative behavior pattern. Okay. So when you recognize what I just said, you might think, well, these negative behavior patterns will actually not give me what I think at that moment that I'm fighting for him will give me, because of the things that we just talked about. They're all physical. They give you nothing lasting. They just give you a momentary pleasure or satisfaction, which has no imprints and no residuals, nothing to store and record to benefit from them later on. None of the things that you said would have any future benefit. None. It's all momentary. Experience it, finished, now I don't have it. I get to experience it because they're all physical and they're all negative. So when you notice that, so why would you want your life to be built on a bunch of negative cardboards, which at any time it could crush and everything falls apart and you on top of them fall right with them. So build your life on something solid, something that involves duration, memory of it, experience of it, being able to invest on it, to learn from it, bring you wisdom, bring clarity, and definitely not addictive nature of them. These are what really protects you and gives you that motivation of the kind of activities that you want to be involved in should have certain qualities, and those qualities should never be addictive, should never be something that it cannot be retained as far as learning from it, a wisdom, or memory of it, or recording it, or learning something from it, or building something with it. None of the things that you said can build anything with it or learn anything from it. It's just poof, a pleasure. Like a ride on a fun fair. You rode on it. What did you learn? Nothing. What did you get? Nothing. What can you do with it? Nothing. What can you build with? Nothing. So living life based on pleasure is futile. And you recognize that as an intelligent person who definitely is intelligent because you're asking this question, will tell you that you must change course. That should be enough reason for you to change course. You don't have to battle negative behavior. You have to just understand that it doesn't have any benefit for you. And you in your life have come here to accomplish something, at least if nothing, should be something beneficial to you. When something doesn't have benefit for you, whether mentally or physically or anyway, why would you continue? That should be your reasoning to moving on and having an easier time to build your life and get involved in activities that are not of negative nature. Hope that would be something for you to think about. Antron. Tambi says, Uncle Mehran, sorry about the sound of confusion. I figured it out. I think one of the reasons we miss our exes is because we create an idolized image of them in our mind to the point we think they're flawless and irreplaceable. It's true, but the idolize is not limited to what the image you have made of them. You have made an idolized image of yourself. That's why you make them to be idolized. You think of yourself that I am my ego. So in order to prove that I am that, then I make her to be a god in my mind. That is, she's the highest, the best. And then you're shocked why she's not. Because she's not. You created her to be that way. Let her be natural and see if you can communicate and have things in common together as she is. So it comes from our own selfishness that we create a goddess out of her. Then we just want to expect that goddess behavior from them, which is just that she's a human being. The only thing about her is that she represents a certain kind of a highest level of pleasure, that to you, you think pleasure is perfection. Pleasure is not perfection. Pleasure is just pleasure. Therefore, deal with her as she is, and she also has abilities to give you pleasure and you give her pleasure. But she is not pleasure to think pleasure is pure, pure is smart, smart is highest level of being, and then for you think of, oh God. That's not it. Don't credit people more than what they are, and understand it's okay for them to be normal because you are normal. You're not God yourself. Don't make some big deity out of yourself and then in turn turn her into something that she's not and then be disappointed and both of you, go nuts. He says, I wish there was a test drive for women. Well, they're not cars to be driven, goddammit. But there is, and that's called courting, dating, getting to know each other, time, interacting, to know if you guys really, meet each other's expectations and are compatible enough. Juzwo says, male 25, Sydney. Hello, mate. Says, bad breakup with ex-wife meant I also broke from her friends and family whom I have good relationship. How do I get over this pain? Just move on. Don't have to get over something. Keep going. When you keep going, the distance will be created from where you were, where the pain was, and where you are, which is far away. So as long as you move, you're focused on something else that diminishes the pain. You're taking distance by your activities and accomplishments and new ventures and friendships that makes distance and diminishes the pain. And eventually you create a new order by your behavior as being fresh and you accomplish other things in life, and eventually you just simply have that as a memory and not as the screen in front of you to have all of your attention at every time. Antron says, my projection of you is directly aligned with all of the philosophies I value. Well, I thank you for the kind words, and I think that was a kind word. So and Muhammad says yes. I don't know what Muhammad says yes to. I don't remember, but that's great. It's positive. Yes. Moray says, I like Antron question. Should it be about trust? Trusting you don't stick your neck out again? You lost your head before? I don't understand that. Yeah, Moray says thumbs up. Yes, guys, please don't forget to thumbs up the live talk. Tambi says, Uncle Mehran, those are remarkable metaphors about the handbag. The gold and T-tips. I strongly suggest you trim that part and upload it. Will do. There's so many things that I can trim from, God knows, maybe at least another 20 live talks, but I get lazy. And my system sometimes, takes so long to do the tripping, I just give up. But I will. Of course I will. I have to maybe clean up the computer and have free its memory further so it will not linger when it wants to do the job. T-Tat says, America female 40s. Well, you're not that clear, are you, today? What's wrong with you? America is not a small place. It's a bloody continent, pretty much. And it's got at least last time 50 states in there. A female, okay, that part is very clear. 40s, could be 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, which is okay. Anyhow, thanks for being here. Doina says, female 29 UK. My boyfriend, she says, disappeared after a fight 3 days before. Did you knock him down and did something with him? You go to Scotland Yard or go to the police, call the bobbies and say, what happened to my boyfriend? After a fight 3 days before my birthday. No happy birthday, no contact for 3 months. Ooh, that must have been a real blow you landed on his jaw, I guess. Doina says, I'm successful in my career, thank God, and all is good with my life. Why do I still care and miss him? Why shouldn't you miss him? What are you, a robot? You had a relationship with him. You remember all those memories, feelings, and now that the time has passed, you don't remember the fight anymore because we are built on not remembering the bad stuff and recover from it. So you simply are remembering all the good stuff, and you actually wonder, why did I fight with him? And then you find yourself at guilt, and that guilt creates something unfulfilled, unfinished, which leads you to want to connect, to have some kind of a discussion on that. And the lack of replacement in that 3 months makes you feel that he was the only choice. Well, if you really think it's important to you, call him up. Or you can simply think, well, if you just had a fight, it's not the end of the world, but he just didn't want to deal with it anymore. And maybe just by yourself you can figure out really who was at bigger fault there. Although it takes two to tango, but obviously you can figure out, were you really too much? If you were, just maybe write him an email or a letter or call or text that say, look, shouldn't have ended like that. I shouldn't have behaved like this, or I shouldn't have, reacted this way, or I feel like perhaps we could have a chat about it and then move on our way. Otherwise, basically you remember all the good things because that's how you're built, and then you miss them. Antron says, male 35, AZ, is it Arizona? I was going to say Azerbaijan, but it's Arizona probably. He says, thank you, simply listening to me helped. Good. Remember, you're the architect of your life. You can change anything you want. You do not have to follow whatever it is that brings you pleasure just because it does. You are the boss of you. You're the master of you. You can change anything. So command it and change it. Simple. It is you. You don't have to order it. You don't have to wait for them to listen to your suggestion or recommendation. It's you. You recommend, you do. And that's it. It'll be that easy. Change your mind. Change your thoughts. Change your mind. Change your thoughts. Change your mind. And change your thoughts. Change your life. Just see what you want in your mind. See what type of lifestyle you want in your mind. So change your mind. Then think about what you just asked for and see the benefit of it. So change your thoughts. And when you do that, you change your life. Simple. You will not have these questions anymore because you will be just the architect of your life. Change your thoughts, change your life. Michael says, how to deal with disrespectful girlfriend, male, 24, Czechoslovakia. Well, did you get together with her because she was respecting you? Because for that, the old traditional Japanese girl are the most qualified. And when you are saying disrespect girlfriend, it's just a word. I don't really know the depth of it. Maybe you did something, she became disrespectful. Maybe she's just impolite, uncivil. Maybe she came from a family that don't respect others, or I don't know what really is. But if by that you mean you expect a woman to comply and be subservient, well, that doesn't happen. It should have never happened in the past, and it will never happen in the future. It's not the time of day for it anymore. Things have changed. If even in your culture, if it's still, some of it is persisting, is still there, but most women, nobody in the world, women or men, do not like to be subservient to anything. So do not expect them to respect you just because you're the man and they're the woman. They won't. They respect you if you respect them. If they're treated nice, naturally they respect you. If they don't, then they're uncivilized, and then you move on. But see, what is the reason for their disrespect? Is it just randomly? If that's the case, well, then just move on. If you haven't done any negative interactions with them, and you have been really fair and kind and gentleman, and they're still disrespecting, well, that's not a good quality girl anyhow. Move on. But if it is because your expectations and you want them to be kind of dominated by you mentally and physically in every way, and then you find that if they're not complying with really being there to listen to what you say and do as you say, and you find that disrespectful, well, then I think you got to change your attitude about the whole idea of respect or disrespect. It's time to become compatible rather than combative. Like, I want to prove my existence, my superiority by you just do what I say. That's shortcomings of you, that you need somebody else to become scared of you or subordinate to you in order for you to feel good about yourself. Don't do that if that's the case. But I say that not because that's the case. I don't know about you, because I don't know about the situation. It's only about one sentence of question with no information, so I'm spitballing here. I hope that will give you something to ponder on. Oh, here it is. He says, she's not willing, like, text me first. Is that disrespect? Why should she text first? It's just because she wants to make sure if you're interested. And if she doesn't text as much as you text, or does not reciprocate, does not respond properly, then that means she's not that interested. So move on. Why do you have to turn her into something by force? She's not qualified for you. She's not appreciating you. So therefore, don't pay attention to her. Move on. And then he said, tell me kind words. Okay, she doesn't tell you kind words, and that means she's disrespecting you. No, she knows that you need it, therefore she's not going to give it to you. First, you start not needing her and not pay so much attention to her that I need your words, I need you to tell me this. Then eventually she will see that the only way she can get your attention is by actually paying attention to you, and then she will. Otherwise, she knows that you need it, and usually when girls know that you need something so badly, they lose interest in you because they don't like needy men anyhow. So, change your thinking, change your life. She has priorities in friends and drinking, maybe. I was a little bit nice guy in the past. Okay. Be nice guy. Don't change yourself, but not too much. Moderation, proper. If they're nice, you're nice. If they're not nice, you still be nice, but move on and don't associate with them. So in this case, basically, and then he says she rather goes home and don't want to spend a lot of time with me. A lot of things there that seems to be disrespect. No, it's not disrespect. It's just she's not that interested because you've been so available. So move on. Don't pay attention to her anymore. Don't text her. Just move on with your life. Find other friends. And if she figures out that she's missing you, she will maybe call you, and then you tell her, listen, I'm not really interested because you and I are different. I am a little bit more involved with my girlfriend. You want to go here and there and all that. I don't call that girlfriend. So you guys go find yourself somebody else. I'm not interested. I'm into a kind of a little bit of a semi-serious stuff, like commitment type of a, exclusivity, that kind of a thing. So it doesn't look like you're that kind. So all the best, have a great life, and we move on. And move on. Don't be afraid to move on. Don't be afraid to let them who you are. Let them know who you are. But be gentle, be polite, be gentleman, but be assertive. All right, let's see. Okay, we look like we have discussed and answered everyone's question. I thank you very much for your time, guys, to allow me to share this time with you. I love you all, and I look forward to talk to you soon. In the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others. Don't forget that we have uploads every day, and make sure you share the videos you like on your social media. And of course, like the channel, like the live type before you leave. And again, if you have any contacts out there who would like to make a report on our channel and talk to me, interview me and all that, put us on the map, I'd be grateful and appreciate it. Hopefully talk to you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.